As you may know, I am something of a collector at times, and every now and again I go right back, and within this beautifully repurposed Temple Spa box are some little remnants of a very old toy line that I used to rather enjoy when I was little. It dates back to the 1980s, and it was called Britain's Space, which sounds wrong but is in fact correct, I can assure you. And this was part of the Star Guards line, and I'm going to show you it now. So, very nicely wrapped up. It's slightly more random when you actually get it out. I haven't actually unpacked this as yet, so I literally do not know any more than you do about exactly what is in here. So I'm now going to find out. This very much reminds me of time at my grandmother's house. I think presumably because I used to take them around there, or I left them there to play with when I spent time with her, I guess. So, oh, well, you get what you pay for, and in fairness, I didn't pay a great deal for this, but one of these pincers is operational, and these are alien pincers because they are green and yellowy, and they are literally called Star Guards aliens. They have no other, and that's look, the spring's still fine. It's still a grabby, you know, you can grab the good guys with that. Marvellous. Now, it will come as no surprise to you that this seems a lot smaller than it used to, but I mean the stickers are still in really good nick. It's quite clean. And what you used to do was load little red balls into this hole, if I remember rightly, and you can fire them out the front here with these little flippers, and it was a fairly effective firing mechanism. And as you can see, the really interesting concept about this particular toy line was that you could interconnect it with other parts of the toy line. So although they came in preset sets, you could actually build your own as well, which was clever. And they're not. And also, I love these. Now, as followers of this channel will know, I am of course a Starfleet fan, and what does that remind you of? Yes, exactly. It looks exactly like the X-Bomber's wings, basically. So, of course, that was a pretty easy sell for me. Now, the really interesting thing about this, in this day and age, and that's a twin set there, this is die-cast. I mean, it's beyond a die-cast. It's sort of cast iron. It's weighty, and there's also quite nasty little points there. So the odds are you would never ever see this today. But the great thing is, you know, I used to fly it around like this. That's a spaceship right there. That's a spaceship. I don't need anything more than that. I just need a pair of wings. I can fly that around, you know. That's great. That's brilliant. I love that. And they're durable. That's solid plastic. That connector, that's solid plastic. They are not going to snap on you. These are, you know, these have stood the test. These are 40 years old. These are 40 years old, and they're still going strong. Let me see what else. Right, okay. So I've got so these are that's the Star Guard equivalent. You can see they don't have quite the same tips, but it's exactly the same joining mechanism. And if I remember rightly, you can basically, I mean, it's not the best join in the world, but if you were really desperate, you could do things like that. So they will quite happily slot onto one another. I'll do a slightly more convincing version of that. Bear with me. Well, that's what oh, damn, that's a shame. That would have been very useful were it not missing its the bottom end of its ball joint. That's a bit of a shame. Okay. Now this one will do. This one will do. So that's the great advantage of it. So I now have a very mutant, but that was actually, I think, effectively one of the sets. So this is great though, you see, because that basically means you've got a sort of a weapons turret that'll give you a 360-degree arc of fire. It'll tilt back, it'll tilt down, it'll go level again, and push comes to shove. It's also a freaking spaceship. So there you go. Really, really simple idea, but just like Lego, it gives you a vast range of play possibilities. This is the, as you can see, that's the alien equivalent of this piece here. Exactly the same principle. Load it up at the top, fire it outside, and these springs are still working 40 years on, and they would probably still let you know that you'd hit something with it. I've got another black ball joint connector there as well, so that's quite handy. And I'm not quite... I know what that's for. I think that's probably for the figures, so that the figures can sit here, because the figures had feet here. I will show you some figures in another video when they've actually arrived. This was my first random job lot that I got, just to remind myself of it, really, as much as anything else, just to see what I thought of it, you know, in this day and age. And I have to say, it's impressive still. I mean, it's all held together. It does seem smaller. It does seem smaller than when I had it when I was little, and I was quite little when I had this as well, I remember. But it's the sort of thing that when you're little, you can really let your imagination take off with, because it had just enough variety that, you know, it was really, really good. And the next batch of it I'm getting should include a more coherent vehicle set, and what I've got here might help me a little bit with it, although this is very much bits and pieces, but it's enough to give you a flavour for what it used to be about, which is all I was really after. You can often pick up elements of this for a song on eBay, basically. So yeah, so I'll do another video when I've got a little bit more to show you, but I thought that might be of interest to see this in the flesh in this day and age, rather than just as a still, to give you an idea of you know, sort of how flexible and stuff it was. I don't know if you remember it. If you do, let me know in the comments, obviously. Do like and subscribe, and do recall please that my Lego Space 1999 Eagle Transporter is still up for support. Plenty of videos about it on the channel, and I would really like to try and push it up to 1999 supporters before it dies. So if you would care to give it a free support, that would be lovely. Thank you very much indeed. And I will leave you there, and I will come back with another little sample of this particular toy line from days gone by in due course. Thanks for watching.